10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Evil geniuses turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Team Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Duska.
Evil geniuses turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Bounty Hunter.
Evil geniuses turn to
Disruptor.
Team Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Lycan.
Evil geniuses turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Evil geniuses turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Evil geniuses turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Faceless Void.
Team Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I speak for the trees.
Evil Genius's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Legion Commander!
Team Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Dragon Knight.
Evil Genius's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Ancient apparition.
Evil geniuses turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Storm Spirit!
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's right. I'm Gareth. Joining me is Blitz, and we are getting into game number 2 here. This best of 3 Evil Geniuses against Team Liquid. And not only do we have a Lycan from Atomic Man, an AA again this patch, but we've got the Storm for Sumail.
Yep. I've talked to a few players that also specialize on Storm. There's like 3 people, but most of the people agree that Storm is a very situational pick. It's not something that we're going to see every single game, but for a game like this, as soon as they picked it, what did I tell you? I said,
This is a godly Storm game.
This is a godly Storm game because there are almost no disables on the side of Liquid, and the disables that there are, you've got 1 melee range stun from Fada. When he pops the Dragon Form, of course, it gets a lot better, but even then, the follow-up isn't fantastic, and Storm is really good against Nature's Prophet. In Ancient Apparition, Tusk, all of these non-hard disable supports. So if a player is going to win a game for EG, look towards Sumail making a lot happen.
Sonic waves and stuff start flying across the whole stadium, and it's very cool to watch.
You know what I love about this crowd? Whenever random Na'Vi chants just start...
Yeah, during the OG newbie game, it's like OG, newbie, and then someone goes, Na'Vi.
Okay.
Davai, Harosh, we're getting underway again. It looks like the game has begun again. And of course, for those of you just joining us, this is game 2 between Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid in a best of 3. Game 1 went the way of Team Liquid, and they've actually started to group themselves up. We saw a 4v4 top rune battle in the previous game. It looks like we might see something even bigger, a 5v5 rune battle now in this game as they all start pottering around, but Fear is the little
There's no way
devil.
you can fight this.
He's hiding, he's scouting, he knows what's going on, and he will tell his team to get the hell out.
Yeah, Liquid would win that fight handily. They have Tusk, they've got Ancient Apparition, they have 5 different heroes that can fight, and EG effectively have 2. Even then, it's not great.
Yeah, 1.5.
Liquid smoked up for this. This is a really odd situation that's developing here. Is it looks like they're trying to make sure that Sumail doesn't get a bounty rune, but
He's gonna get the bottom one.
yeah, that was odd. I think they were hoping that EG would rotate to top, and they could take the fight up there. But instead, 50 gold goes down the drain.
Don't get anything out of it. Now, how do the lanes actually look? Mind Control, Nature's Prophet up at top is...
Oh, PPD actually went for the smoke. He's gonna go for the courier.
Oh, is he? Cheeky little devil.
Yeah, there's just obviously not gonna be a level 1 gank for Storm Spirit, but might find the courier with this.
It's gonna be relatively kind of delayed with the fact that it's a Stout Shield and a Quelling Blade, and Tango's bought by the DK.
Maybe he was hoping... Well, this was odd because if he saw Fada's item build, then he has to know. Instead, he's just going to go back for the harass, but he had to, if he clicks Fada, then he sees the Quelling Blade and the Stout Shield, and you have gold left over for salve if you want it. So if he doesn't go for the salve there, he would have bought the salve in the first place, is what I mean.
Okay. Well, Mind Control 1v1 up against a UI on that Legion Commander. So Poor Man Shield on her means that they really wanted to set up these lanes this way. You deal with the Treants, don't get harassed too much, and then they've placed Fear down towards his bottom lane in a dual lane with Bulba's Void, while Kuroki, this AA, You have to be babysat a little bit by Jerax's Tusk, because it is a dangerous spot to be in down there. I'm a Tumber Man on the Lycan as well, just trying to get his last hits in, but it's still the mid lane. Sparta deals with a Thunder Strike from PPD, and Sumail, he's sitting pretty 6-4, while DK 3-0, but again, Blitz, we saw this in the previous game. When Fata gets the disadvantageous matchup, the DK against the DP, he gets, demolished in lane in CS terms. Sumail tripled up on him, it was like 30-4 compared to 10-0 by 6 or 7 minutes. But this time around, the Storm Spirit against the DK, how is this matchup actually going to pan out?
The Storm is obviously going to do quite well against any sort of melee hero. Storm usually thrives on matchups where he's even. Any matchup where he's going to get even farm in, he's going to be incredibly happy, and matchups that he's going to get ahead in, going to be even happier, because Storm is always going to be the hero that you want to scale a little bit better going into the mid game. And if you're going to help out a mid lane, or if you're going to help out a lane, it's going to be the mid one. Typically though, laning phase doesn't mean too much, just because of what you can do in the mid game with certain lineups, especially if you look at Liquids, it's going to be very mid game centered when they get their summons up and running.
Kuroki has left this point. He's about to hit level 2, but he hasn't skilled anything yet, and I've just realized they've got Howl and Chilling Touch if they want it. So a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's why they wanted to take that level 1 fight.
Bulba, he's still got his Time Walk, of course. He's trading hits nicely with Jerax there. Beer still waiting around, level 1.5, not getting too much done in this laning phase, but if there's ever an opportunity to strike where, maybe Liquid overextend on the Void and think, right, we can get him, we can kill him off, or we can do devastating damage to him, Fear is there for the backstab, and maybe the trade-off kill, if he can find it. He's moved up to top as well. Now, AUI, Legion, Quelling is up, but Mind Control not really pressured too much in this lane. He's nearly got his phase boots, and that is maybe where he starts to look to TP to other lanes. And again, we look at this DK and Nature's Prophet. They've got a defensive tri lane with great tower pushing power, and then you add in the Dragon Knight and the Furion, who can make up the numbers and come in. There's a hell of a lot of damage between them. Yeah.
Still, EG are getting a lot more out of the laning phase. The Void is in a position where he's not very scared against this tri-lane, or he shouldn't be with that Time Walk, as they're going to go on him, and Bulba might not be okay here as the Ice Shards catch him out.
Chilling Touch is there, the Howl with a cold feet, and Bulba very fast through, but it's not enough. Liquid's first blood, and Fear for the first time in 4 minutes wasn't there, wasn't ready to try and save the day. He's not a saving hero, but just putting your body into the mix might have pushed Liquid out with that.
Yes, both me and Bulba heavily underestimating the amount of damage that Liquid could put out, and obviously they've got 2 different ways to catch him with the Ice Shards or the Snowball. Probably didn't think he was going to die down there, neither did I, but would end up getting the kill anyways. That's going to be the first blood, helping out this lane. And up at top, like we were talking about, Mind Control already having the phase boots. Gonna hit level 5 after these 2 range creeps as well.
Really good scan there from EG. They realized that, okay, they killed bottom lane, both AA and Tusk. In game number 1, they love to smoke up. They get a kill on off lane, they smoke up, they move mid. So the scan actually sees that the Tuskar was sitting behind this tier 1 towards the mid lane. So whoever did that on EG, well played by you, because Sumail, he freely goes back into the jungle and says, well, I'm not going to get ganked. I'm actually going to go and farm. I'm going to get myself a nice bit of money, stack up some more camps for me. Used Raindrops, though, is an interesting pickup by him.
Oh, I was just talking to him about this, and some other Storm players about whether or not this item was viable on Storm, and just feels good is the best way to put it. It helps out some of your survivability. The mana regen doesn't feel fantastic, but it's just nice.
It's there. It's not massively noticeable, but it's just...
It's one of those feel-based things where you can't really explain, but if you play the hero and you play with it, it feels good.
Nice. See how it works out for him then. Mind Control. He does not feel safe. He does not feel as top lane as where he should be. As AUI, he has hit level 6, and with the phase boots, the movement speed could have allowed him to catch up with the duel. Got a lot of damage back onto Mind Control as well. Sits back behind his tier 1, but just look at this. Fata pops his 6 and starts wailing in on this tier 1 in the middle lane, while down at bottom they have got a catapult wave. They'll have the Wolves, the Howl, and they've got Shreds on Matuma Man. Bulba without this Darkseer on him, without any kind of wave clear or ability to safely drag aggro back. He's pulled 1 melee creep away. The second wave comes in, and you're right, the mid tower's dropping.
They're gonna go for, or they wanted to go for Fada before they see this haste rune, but PPD still gonna come in. They can bring him back if they want.
It's a level 2 glimpse into the kinetic field.
Oh, there are 4 heroes coming here for this.
Holds him, in comes Liquid though, and Fata's still alive. They jump in with some mail, look for the damage back onto him with a press the attack. They're not gonna get it just yet. Oh, Fata's still open with a stun back onto AUI. They're gonna try and find the kill back onto him, but it's Jirak who drops. A 2-for-1 so far, but Sumail's got no mana. He's got nothing left to give. A Zip to throw some attacks. He's nearly out, but not quite. Storm, not enough.
What a turnaround by Liquid is now they're up 4-1. This mid tower might go down as Spear TP's in, but no dust. But this mid tower is still gonna go down. We talked about how important it was for almost all teams in that last game, and with that turnaround, at first they thought they had it, but Dragon Knight being so naturally tanky with those magic raindrops, those infused raindrops, and that magic stick. Yeah, the early pickups just make him so tanky. That was the dual damage under 4 different heroes from EG, and they still couldn't bring him down.
It's intelligence like that where, you know, Fata can often go under the radar as a mid player. You look at him in the mid lane, you're like, well, he lost mid to X player, he lost mid in this matchup, but it's often the way for him, but just because of the heroes that he's given. You know, he loses out on last hits, he loses out in the kind of naked matchup that he's given, but still, with the item choices he makes, with that intelligent decision-making he has, he's able to stay alive, and now they TP up towards top lane, the snowball into AUI is ready, and Jirak goes straight on in. Mind control is ready, and AUI, not long for this world, and the chilling touch damage is more than enough to wipe the floor with him.
And this frenetic pace that Liquid are playing right now, in both games so far, it seems like EG just can't keep up. We heard in the pregame interview, PPD said the team who plays faster is going to win, and so far it's all been Liquid in both games. Sumail goes to this top rune. I talked about it before, no real way to gap close for Liquid and get the stun onto a hero like Storm, but still finding kills around the map.
Bulba has been given a little bit of breathing room down at bottom lane, though his Faceless Void is hit at 6. He's got the Chronosphere available.
I think the issue is that they don't have the best things to pair with the Chronosphere. They don't have the natural damage ability of something like the Witch Doctor ultimate or
an Invoker or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Even Storm with the right clicks aren't going to add too much. So going for this kill on Matum.
Kuroki. Not sure how this entire situation has actually happened, but AUI, they've got the dual damage onto AUI. Winner for him, +10. Thank you very much.
That was a complete freebie for them.
I'm looking down at bottom lane and I realize, hang on a second, Kuroki, is he setting up for something? What's he waiting for? He cut through trees and he's sitting there, but PPD had his number.
Yeah, he was waiting. And now Liquid, look like they want to go up to top, but gonna get spotted out by EG's ward potentially. Might have seen Jerax cross that line as Fada's gonna make his way into EG's jungle, as they should know that AUI is up here, but I'm not sure they have the damage for this. They're gonna have to bring in both Mind Control and his ultimate if they're gonna hope to get this kill as mid. They see Sumail.
And Kuroki's not level 6 yet. You know, talking about game number 1 where his AA was pretty spot on with his 6 timing. The Dragon Tail Snowball, they've got the stun into Sumail. There's the kinetic field, but it's not gonna save your body. Well, AUI wants to join this fight as well. Running forward into Jerax, Chrono ready from Bulba. Time dilation's all they need, and the duel back on the Jerax will clear him up. The drums picked up by AUI. Another winner. +20. Now, over in the top. What's happening there?
He's gonna get gone on, but not
little.
gonna do enough damage to kill him, and even though he doesn't have mana, they are gonna escape as they do lose that top tower. And they blew the glyph there for that one. Just not gonna have it for that bottom push when it inevitably comes.
Did Jerax just ate the... Oh, okay. Oh, Chrono. And caught out Matumberman and then jumps Sumail Storm. They've got a lot of damage. There's a shapeshift, but Matumberman, I don't know about this. The snowball saved Jerax. He holds him in, runs him forward. Bulba, they're dropping him low. Matumberman's still alive. Sumail zips across. They don't get the vision. They don't. He is getting out. Oh, Sumail cannot get the final click in, and he's out of mana as well. Jerax keeps ripping through his HP with Wolf's in a body block up as well. Mind Control TP's forward. Sumail's gone in too deep. He's gone too far. He knew too much, but now he's dead.
Unbelievable that Liquid make the save for their man up there at bottom, but Matumberman juking and jiving his way out of that, and now this is going to lead to that bottom push. And we talked about how they didn't have the control factor for Sumail Storm in the mid game, but they don't need it if he wastes all of his mana trying to kill that doggy man.
has
He
fallen.
nearly had him though. He was so close.
That was... Oh, that's gonna hurt them so much. That slows down the Storm's progression that much further. Mind Control gonna pick up the mech soon. We talked about how difficult it was gonna be for EG to fight into that lineup. Storm, not one of those heroes that you want to get into these early 5-on-5 engagements with. Bounty Hunter in a similar situation. The Faceless Void obviously very cooldown reliant. Liquid just might hit a timing where EG can't really defend or fight.
DK nearly armlet. Matsu, once he got 800 gold on top of Vlad's treads, not too shabby. And you've already mentioned that the Mind Control wrapping up his item progression pretty nicely, while EG, what do they look to do? They've lost all tier 1 so far, and I think it might be a smoke time try and catch Liquid off guard, but Sumail wants to continue farming here.
He has to. We just thought... Literally just... You remember... Storm, he just can't fight.
He's got to snowball. He's just got to get these big items up.
But Liquid are going to go for a play. They want to try to get aggressive here. They do have the ward vision. They're going to run into Fear and AUI. Doesn't get hit though.
Double sentry down. Fear. They've got no dust. I can't see him any further. Mind Control's coming in though. Now they've got the dust and Fear. The Sprout and the punch out from Jirax and Mind Control clear him up while Bulba up on the front line.
Really low.
2 seconds until Chrono. Bulba, he's thinking about this one. The jump in from Sumail onto Kuroki. Mind Control. Time to sprint out of that one. There's the Ice Blast down to the Storm. The duel win back onto AUI. But PPD on the back end. The Chrono Static Storm on the Fata.
They're going to save it
low. Onto the man. In with 1 swipe. And down with 2. Fata dropping low. And here we go. EG, they clear up 1-2. But Matsuma Man's looking for 3-4. He's chasing out Bulba. As AUI trying to look for Mind Control though. The Nature's Prophet. Printed out, the phase boots are up and the Sprout is ready.
Oh, the wolf blocks them in.
The wolf blocking. AUI, your phase boots are there. Can you really chase this one down?
Yeah, he's still going for it as he pops the next jump charge.
The man is ready to fight though. And will block the entry up on top of that ramp.
Good disengage by Liquid, but EG still pick up a decent amount right there as that combination is going to help them. The gold change does go in their favor. Most importantly, they finally get that level 6 onto Fear. And now these little engagements can really start to turn in their favor, but they really would have liked that 6 beforehand. Still AUI, 1700 gold, almost has that Blink Dagger. EG really need to take this next fight with the track though.
That's going to be the jump and catch that they really desperately need. And track, like you mentioned, on the Bounty Hunter. But back to your point about Bulba with the combinations, this Chrono, you know, it's good lockdown. It pairs decently with the Disruptor, the Static Storm. They got the kill on Fata, but that's 1 kill. 1 kill on a DK, while Matsuma Man just roared through the rest of the fight. And he's nearly got his Necro 1 completed.
It's just difficult for them to go for these big teamfight lockdowns because of how mobile a lot of these Liquid heroes can be. It's going to come down to who AUI decides to go for in duels as well.
And EG can't really, or haven't really itemized, you know, for picked heroes for taking Roshan early. There's very little minus armor or anything like that.
Exactly.
So if they want to take the Aegis, they've got to win a fight, and it might just come down to Liquid waltzing into the pit and saying thank you very much.
Liquid try to just get map control before they make any sort of play like that though. They pick up the Necro Book 1 on the Matsuma Man and that armlet on the Fata. That might actually just prompt them to decide to go for a straight up push as EG. The only wave clear that they have is going to be the overwhelming odds from this Legion Commander. And yeah, that's exactly what they're going to go for. Is mid seems to be the target. Is Fata's going to get gone on with the Thunderstrike, and they're going to bring him back for this.
The Static Storm, he goes with the track, but used 3 ultis on him. They get the dual win now. What about the rest of Liquid? Vortex back, Mind Control is dragged in. The Ice Flash catches them, and Matsu chases them down. Bulba's gone. Owie. Oh, you cannot find the Wolfman. Matsuma's tracked up his dark. He's dropping loads of turns. He gets the kill back. Mind Control, can you get any more? Sumail. Oh, they're going to grab long range snipe from Jirax. And a buyback from Sumail. Oh, they're going to try and use these
big out of this.
Coming through. There's the
he dodges it!
Gets stuck up as well. Sumail jumps forward. The track on the Mind Control. They want this goal. They want the money, and he's going to get it. But the track can expire. Jirax chase down Sumail. He'll get 2 for his buyback, but Blitz, was that buyback worth it?
In a way, just because of the amount of XP he grabs, he's level 12. Almost a sick play from Jirax, getting onto that high ground to dodge that Shuriken and that Storm's initial roll, but still, a lot of that fight did get 3 of those tracks off, but it did cost you a buyback on Storm, so not the kind of lead that they wanted. Still, they don't lose the tower, most importantly. And that's going to reset a lot of these timings from Liquid. No Dragon Form for another 40 seconds. It's going to buy EG a little bit of breathing room. This time around, it doesn't, like, EG want to allow Liquid to just run all over them.
We're still closing in on that Blink Dagger for a UI, but a little bit of a pickup here from Bulba that I've noticed, and we saw this from Bulldog the other day on Alliance, and
Echo
Loda,
Saber.
the Echo Saber on Faceless Void. Okay, now I said Liquid might want to just waltz into the Roche pit and take it, but honestly, with 5 heroes alive from EG, I wasn't expecting it as rash as this.
They know that Chrono's down. That's the most important spell right now for EG to be able to contest this. The good news for EG, though, is they have a lot of different Roche heroes. During their most dominant era at TI5, Storm plus Roche Pit, one of the more scary ventures for them is they don't have that hard lockdown like we talked about, and tracks are coming up for...
Sumail up on top of that nice little spire, and he's going to keep himself... These remnants giving vision, all attack down, but equally Mind Control is sprouting up on high ground as well to try and give the intel back to Liquid and Sumail. Thinking about this, PPD runs forward, but it's the fight kicking off. Static Storm, it catches 2, and in comes AUI with a duel. The 4-man there as well. The Ice Blast back onto them though. EG, they're dropping low. The winner back onto AUI, but the snowball forward. Who can they catch? It's Jericho alone. There's no one coming through except for Mind Control, who looks for the kill. The Storm, the final hit. They've caught them. Liquid, they're actually doing it now. Back into the rush they go.
Despite the 4-man Chrono, still unable to win that fight. Liquid just a little bit too strong with that AA Ice Blast and that mech. Now it's going to be this easy Roche. And with all the tracks up on them, still, they don't care. As everybody from EG still down, no Storm available, and the Man's going to pick up the Aegis. Liquid further getting map control out of this.
Fata is the only one, it seems, that's dying during these chronos. They lock him down, they try and kill him off, realizing that he's popped his dragon form. This arm that's annoying will actually try and focus him down, and they succeed. They get dual wins on it. And AUI is racking up damage.
Yeah, the good news, though, for EG is they're still getting a lot of levels on Sumail. And on the flip side of things, Liquid, Fata's already stagnated at level 10. Not going to get over that level 11 hump at any time soon. Sumail's still the highest level in the game, still has a reasonable amount of farm, not too far behind, but Liquid's lineup, they are geared for getting into these kinds of engagements early on.
Maelstrom, Nature's Prophet, Lycan, is that Necro 2 over in the Courier? It looks like it is available for him, and very close to Necro 3. How many towers are left? Tier 2 on its last legs. Very little HP left, and Tier 2 up at top. Still a little bit left, but Bulba, EG, they're very concentrated at shoving out these waves, aren't they? Just keep Equilibrium away and across the other side of the river as much as possible for now, at least.
They know the push is going to come soon. You're going to try to play a little bit greedy. Liquid's one downside is going for these mid-game pickoffs aren't as strong, so EG are farming with impunity. They do have good defensive ward vision out. As Fear's going to scout, Bada coming into his jungle. They're going to get the track off too. Nobody from Liquid here to punish this quite yet as Mind Control TPs to the left. Fear just trying to avoid vision as he should be fine in this situation.
Does look like he's okay.
Yeah.
Summerman, he's scouted out a number here of the EG, AUI being one of them. PPD returns himself back to the tier 3.
AUI is getting a lot of dual damage too.
He is. Was it plus 58 now, it looked like?
Yeah, this game is still fairly heavily in Liquid's favor, but they are getting a decent amount of dual damage. The Storm does have a really good amount of levels, and the one downside of going for this 5-man play from Liquid, or 5-man play in general, is you do typically get a little bit behind in levels.
It's pretty nice though, the fact that Matuma Man with the Aegis is able to push tier 2 mids. You know, like we saw from game 1 with the Lone Druid, he is off.
They might just keep
Doing his own
going.
thing.
Dragon Form is up for a reasonable amount of time. Matuma Man does have that Aegis and the Necro 3.
Oh boy.
They've got so many different summons to go for this.
EG, are you ready for this? Are you prepped? I mean, Sumail still yet to have that Bloodstone. He's closing in on it, and he's actually sending his courier back out to the secret shop to finish it off. But Liquid, taking the tier 3 down to a third of his HP, and well, there's the glyph expended. EG will try and hold on to this. There's no glimpse onto Matuma Man. Now there is. Back into the field, the dual win back onto Aoi as well. As the Aegis gone only though. Well, Storm, Bloodstone ready. Could be the jump that EG have been looking for. Tracks just keep flowing out, keep and vision, and also the threat of gold being given over to your enemies there, and Liquid, they don't want to get involved in this fight right here.
They might find that they're looking for the glimpse right now, and that's going to mean Liquid has to take this fight, or at least gather together. Track plus glimpse obviously being a very strong combination.
Look at that, trapped in the shards, PPD, but there's no dragon form, and Like Liquid will just go back to farming up these lanes.
They gotta get back as a team. In that situation, Gareth, it's really easy for
One to
Fear
get picked.
Exactly, and that's why they decided to back as a group, but Fear might get picked off here.
Here is the one, the Ice Blast barely captures him. Is he going to drop though as Jirak throws the shard and finishes him off, but it's a track kill and a buyback. Fear, you really want to come into this battle again. They're holding on to Chrono as well as Sumail, the duel back on Jirak, but it comes to Like and the big bad wolf. Chrono lands on the two of them though with Mind Control and Matsu are both caught in. Fanta walked into that one as well, but Sumail, there we go, damage back. Masses of units in this area, Matul Man dies. He doesn't have a second life, and Fanta trying to hold his ground, battle through this, but EG might have found the way into this fight as AUI. When's the duel coming up? 29 seconds, doesn't look for the kill. They don't care about that one, but they've got a Static Storm. Fanta's dead, 4 gone for Liquid and Kuroki ATPs. No glimpse and no shuriken. But EG, that's not defending your high ground, that's not defending your tier 3s, that's Liquid maybe getting a little bit too overzealous with, hey look, there's a bounty there, we'll kill him.
Yeah, they found the opportunity, they thought it was going to be a one-off kill, and really underestimating the amount of damage that EG can put out.
Oh, wait a second. Sumail, he got the Bloodstone and now he's down to 9. Bloodstone got buffed to 12, right?
Yeah, he died.
Okay. He did indeed.
Yeah. Look at the XP just dramatically fall. Now it's slightly, ever so slightly in EG's favor. Gold is still in favor of Liquid, but we talked about it again. When it comes to the ultra late game, the Storm is going to be able to do a lot of work. The amount of dual damage coming out onto AUI is starting to get a little bit scary, and now the Liquid push lineup is losing a little bit of their momentum. They're probably going to have to wait for this next Aegis, but then you've got to deal with the Storm with the Bloodstone.
Even with the glyph being popped out, they want to go for the safe route and just make sure that they can push high ground with one of their heroes. The Lycan just getting up on the high ground.
Oh, Fada
defending tier 1s.
not willing to run into those remnants. They should have vision right there as Fear. Gonna bump into him in a second here.
Liquid all converging onto their own tier 1. Down out bottom lane while Bulba, he went back for the Maelstrom after the Echo Saber. Oh Fear, are you looking for the Courier Snipe? You're not going to find it. It's long gone. It's well on its way back home, but it might be actually aiming for Matumba Man mid. AUI is capped out by this wolf though, and you'll see it die and then realise, well, there wasn't really a chance of jumping onto the Lycan there. Good play by Matu, keeping that vision over onto them.
Good amount of levels on the cores of EG though. It's going to enable them to stay in this game still. Sumail, even that early buyback, not costing him too much. And that's the crazy thing about Sumail is it feels in some games he gets a little bit too overzealous and he picks up too many deaths. 7 in this game alone, but if you just compare net worth, not very far behind. In levels, he is so far ahead of the other cores on Liquid. Dragon Knight right now, Fada still rocking level 11.
Radiant's Courier does get sniped, and Fear, is he going to pay for his life? They pop the Necro 3s, and looks like he will. Even the Shapeshift expended there by Matumba Man. Is that enough for that bloody bounty hunter?
Still,
We saw
I
the
think that's enough space that they created. The Necro 3 was used for that.
Yeah.
He's trying to find wards if he can, potentially. Instead, gonna go for the farm. Doesn't check that mid area.
Fanta TP top to look for Legion. Courier was sniped. Necro's popped. Shapeshift down as well. And we're talking about EG trying to stall this push and maybe a little bit of Liquid running out of gas, at least for the next couple of minutes until that Roshan respawns.
Yeah, for the time being, EG are in a really good spot. Anytime you can split up and farm with heroes like Storm, you're going to get so far ahead in levels. That's exactly what we're seeing here. As XP now 3k ahead in favor of EG, already breaking the largest lead that Liquid had in that regard. And net worth still in Liquid's favor, but big team fight ultimates, EG have them, and that can close the gap in net worth very quickly.
EG all groups up towards their tier 3 mid. I'm not going to actually go for anything there. The scan out from Liquid, looking for maybe a smoke rotation down towards bottom lane, and of course this tier 1 down the bottom, it's an easy one to go for EG potentially, you know, in the grand scheme of things. But Liquid are doing a very good job of defending it and actually looking across the map. Liquid have done an excellent job at keeping all of their tier 1s not just alive, but on almost full health, while EG haven't had a leg to stand on if they wanted to try and push into them.
All it does take though is one fight. Any sort of engagement where EG can push out all 3 lanes.
Domino's topple.
Yeah, they're gonna go for a smoke. EG, they want to fight behind their Chrono and might even catch Matumba Man out as If he's not careful, they're
They're
gonna go for
wrapping
him.
in from behind, though. They catch Man, but in the back it's faster, looking for the stun and the damage. Man dueled up and killed off, but the ice blast lands onto Sumail and plunged out of the game as AUI turns into the middle of 3 Liquid heroes, realizing that's not where a partner killer, and he's caught in a sprout as well. Faster with a double kill now, sprinting forward, looking for more. But Fear and PPD found a little bit of safety up on the high ground. They've got to try and TP. Oh, Blitz, does this allow them to transfer into a push onto high ground?
Yeah, they're gonna go for bottom right now. At least deal a little bit of damage as Fada has a bit of that dragon form to go. Trying to punish this as EG gonna come back now. PPD out of mana, but Glyph is gonna get popped in 5 seconds. That's gonna be a Sumail Storm coming back at you, and Fear already in position to try to get some tracks off.
Looking at Sumail now, I guess with the fact that, you know, we've talked a lot about the lack of disables here against him. He can just go all out aggression, go for damage, go for stuns and lockdown and all that himself. It looks like it's going to be the Orchid for him. Now, who's going to be his primary target? Is that going to be an item for kind of solo pickoffs for the meantime? Look for the AA and the Tusk?
Yeah, it's going to make it so that Mind Control can't really get out of his base, but even then, the Orchid's just one of those items on Storm that scale really well with him. Especially since you can grab that Bloodthorn later on into the game. It provides him with mana regen, a bit of flat damage, and more importantly, attack speed. There aren't a lot of attack speed items that most Storm players can feel comfortable going for. And ultra late game, of course, the Moon Charges are alright, but
you're not going to buy like a Mjolnir or something on Storm, even if you want to be the Super Lightning Wizard.
Orchid's just kind of one of those catch-alls. It solves just a lot of your issues at once.
Good all-round item. Fear. He has seen Mind Control and the rest of EG. They are rampant.
Might be another duel.
To the Radiant Jungle. AUI currently sitting on a flat 100 bonus damage. They're going to see MC and Nature's Prophet. Well, the Snowball Save comes through and the Ice Blast onto Sumail and AUI. The BKB's forced out to turn it around again with the Static Storm not doing too much. AUI caught in a sprout and Man just shreds through the ranks of EG. One by one they fall. Team Liquid. Where's Sumail? TP's out. Nice little ball zap across. Bulba, he was way out of position there. Not, you know, a fault of his own, but his team went in way ahead.
Yeah. Jarex thought, okay, he's not going to pop the BKB before the duel, then just snowball right back on top of him, waste a lot of the time of that duel, get that AA Ice Blast. And EG, they can still take this fight. They have Chrono available. The buyback's been committed as well, but without Fear there, you're not going to get the most even of trades.
Mind Control
has that Hex now. It's going to make Sumail's life even harder as he's nowhere near a BKB of his own.
Range racks are gone.
Trying not to show it, and he might actually just overcommit for this.
The Hex is a stun, the Sprout is there, but the press the attack! They've saved Sumail, at least for now, with 3-man Chrono on the back. Bulba holds them in place, but the damage isn't quite here yet for EG. While Faster dueled up, they'll find the kill back onto him, but there's no win for AUI.
They need to get a lot of kills out of this as multiple track kills are happening.
Mind Control chased out, they've killed off 3, and there's the mech back onto him, but he will lose his life, and Liquid overextend, even with the perfect play onto the Storm Spirit with that newly picked up Hex. Press the attack from AUI saves everything for EG.
More importantly than that, Bulba's counter initiation with the Chrono proving to be the key there for them is now they might have the opportunity to go for the Roshan with 4 Liquid heroes down. No contesting this, and this is going to further delay the game and just make things even more worrisome for Team Liquid. Is Storm with an Aegis obviously going to be very difficult for them to take down. And even more than that, the press the attack countering the one disable that Liquid have to reliably lead with.
He just holds it. As long as AUI doesn't get caught out, hold it for the Storm Spirit to save him up. Oh, of course, it was just a range racks mid. Melee still standing, and top is naked. Tier 3 was dropped quite some time ago, but EG can go Scepter and a Tome of Knowledge for PPD, get himself some levels, and also give him a little bit more survivability up against the Dragonite and the Lycan, but I think more importantly those little Necro books with the AC Vlads and Matuma Man do a hell of a lot of damage back with the minus armor on them.
Yeah, Ghost Scepter completed on the Disruptor, just going to make it hard for the right-click focus him down. Maybe get a few more spells off in team fights. Ancient Apparition is going to get that Glimmer Cape to help whoever gets caught in that Static Storm. Nobody from Liquid opting to get a BKB, mainly because there's so many different things that can go through it. The duel, you've got obviously the Chronosphere going to be the major ability, and Liquid, they just have to stop getting chronoed with so many key targets.
It's like 3 or 4 man Chronos all day long from Bulba.
Yeah. He's been in 15 out of their 20 kills, enabled so much for this team. And there were a lot of doubts coming into this new EG roster, but in this game,
He's shining
doing very well for himself. He's kept up in farm too. Second on his team, ahead of the Dragon Knight by a healthy margin.
He has been an absolute star so far. And with that BKB Maelstrom Echo Saber, he can start now looking towards attack speed with the Mjolnir. Maybe even go in for something like an Assault Cuirass himself. Or maybe that's going to be for AUI. He's Chainmail sitting already pretty in his inventory. But finally, EG I get to go and push a tier 1 tower blitz.
And this is going to be one that Liquid should not contest. They don't have any vision down on the south side of the map.
Whereas EG, they've got vision on the lane behind the tier 1 they're pushing themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And if you set up this well on the side of EG, there's almost no way that Liquid know if they have heroes sitting behind Sumail. He could just be behind here alone, but why risk it? Not for a tier 1 tower. And now the items are going to start pouring in for EG. Sumail is 3,600 gold after that mid-fight. But Liquid are set up.
Liquid poking and prodding up at top a little bit, but they want to come back and defend bottom. Sumail.
Gonna jump really far away. Still has a lot of mana to work with.
TP as well.
Yeah, they're even pinging the direct area that he's on top of, but nobody from Liquid ready for that.
Fata, I think, was millimeters away there from stunning. I don't know if he was in range or if he was maybe just waiting for that perfect opportunity for the rest of his team to come in, but it was very tight. Well, maybe could have been picked there, or at least had the Aegis burnt and expended. Mind control, he returns back up the top, and now the tables have turned a little bit. Liquid are the ones on the back foot having to deal with the push coming in from EG, the fact they've got these items, and EG feel bolstered by this, that they feel they're ready to go out and fight, and they will smoke themselves up and run towards the tier 1 mid.
They should take this fight. They are incredibly strong right now. You can clearly tell that Liquid doesn't want to fight into this Aegis Storm if they can help it. EG is going to use that to their advantage, and they might even catch Jerax here as it's a blink off.
Not today, my dear friends. Not today.
Sumail still attempt Bloodstone charges, decently healthy amount, but Liquid just trying to buy time right now. The Aegis.
Oh, he nearly has Lincolns on Storm as well. He is very close to Lincoln Sphere, so not only will we have press the attack dispelling disables on him, but they won't even be able to land them onto him. What's going on with the Ice Blast onto Bull, but the BKB turns to Chrono, catches 2, Kuroki is the target of choice. Mind control, he can't actually be stunned, and the duel comes through as well. AUI catches the kill. There's the duel win. 2 down for Liquid, 1 down for EG, and Sumail just continues running through this enemy base. Evil Geniuses, what's that? Liquid? Jerax tried to snowball into PPD. But Evil Geniuses, they have a lot of courage behind them, and they're finding these kills. It's paying off.
Yeah. Now you've got even Bloodstone charges on a Sumail. More dual damage, 118 to AUI's name. Doing quite well for himself in this game, and Liquid, at some point it's going to be so hard for them to kill either of these cores. The BKB Void lasted for so long too.
And the thing is that Chrono was used so early on in the team fight that even if Liquid were to go, right, Chrono's down, we can go and push, we can go and fight, can't, because Mind Control's dead for so long that when he's alive it'll only be like 20-15 seconds or so that the Void will have to wait for Chrono to be back up.
Yeah, that's going to be the Lincolns now onto the Storm. Blink Dagger's going to be the choice for Mind Controls. They need a more reliable way to start these fights. Most of it is just Liquid getting initiated on and trying to hold the line. Maybe with this Blink Hex they can make something happen. The spot is going to go Silver Edge in. And that gold lead, at some point that was nearing 12k, almost at 0.
It has plummeted for Team Liquid, and they've got this Observer Ward up at the top racks. They really wanted to try and utilize that maybe a little bit better, but not having the opportunity. Glyph, of course, is available again for Evil Geniuses to defend their base. All the lanes controlled up by Liquid now. Matumbaman, 3,200 saved up. Been holding on to Quelling Blade and TP for quite some time. After the Vlad's AC and the Necrobook, the kind of regular pushing items and a little bit of fighting, a little bit of battling from the Lycan. What does he really aim to do here? Because pushing all in, it hasn't worked so far, or are you waiting for that one big fight to enable yourself to go in?
Maybe he even grabs a little bit more flat HP. Could decide to go for a heart of his own. BKB obviously.
DK heart, Lycan heart.
Yeah. Just get very tanky. Is up at top. Liquid.
Sumail.
They pop a lot of different abilities.
And back with the mind control, the Ice Blast isn't going to hit anyone. Whiffs completely into empty. Gone, the BKB from Bulba.
He still has that chrono too. Liquid have to get out of here.
As well, Fata caught in here. The Ice Shot's trying to block him in. That's a nice little bit of safety there for the DK, but the jumping from AUI, look for the duel. Turns back with a stun. Fata catches him. AUI is being burnt through and he's gone. That Lotus Shell will not save you from anyone. Sumail, the link at this pump, and he's dead as well. The Static Storm from PPD, it doesn't do a bloody thing to save you from this monstrous dragon of Fata from Liquid.
All of a sudden, Liquid turned that around. They don't even hit the Ice Blast. They get caught by the chrono.
They don't hex
still,
anyone.
They have enough damage. I'm not sure how they were able to hold that one. PPD immediately going to buyback. They don't want to do it on the Storm if they can help it. AUI does have the buyback available, but they can't really afford to give up the second set of racks.
I think the blink into the chrono from AUI, you know, it's the move he wanted to make for the duel onto the DK, but those ice shards from Jira.
They ended up just popping them immediately as a result.
Those ice shards were perfect as well, because they just created this barrier inside the chrono, all the way around. No one could touch the...
And for a second, it really looked like EG were just kind of
rolling.
Yeah, they had all of this momentum built up. Team fights were going in the direction. At the top, they lost the Nature's Prophet, who has the second amount of highest net worth in the game. And he wasn't able to get anything off, and they still win the fight. No AA Ice Blast.
Insane stuff.
Yeah, EG just got a little bit too overconfident there.
Still though, no objectives taken by Liquid after that fight.
Yeah,
Rack
maybe
stand.
it was intentional. You know, miss everything,
Yeah.
lose your second highest
Still
net worth
win.
hero, still win the fight.
Look what we can do to you, even without our strongest abilities and heroes. Cower in fear, evil geniuses, because Liquid, they are after you and they seem to have your number. 32 to 23. Well, 38 minutes in now, and we have seen a bit of a bimodal distribution in games. We see a lot of sort of 35, 40-minute games or 65, 70-minute games as things do drag out and both teams even up in terms of farm and
What's the BKB, by the way, on Matama Man, and a heart finally completed on Fata. They've got a decent amount of farm now to back themselves up, and Fata, who is almost always getting blown up in those chronospheres, now has a lot of HP to back up his armor, making it even more effective.
They are tanky guys. EG, time to chill at the Winchester, have a pint, and hope this all blows over, because right now, in Liquid, they are starting to knock on their front doors. Evil Genius is actually moving out of their base here. Bulba, Fear, far forward, Sumail of course. Now with a Plate Mail looking for that Shiver's Guard, but Liquid, top and mid, looking for these two full lanes of barracks. Dragon Knight.
Oh, Fear's gonna get spotted here.
Nice force staff. The Echo Shell on him as well. It's going to be difficult to catch. Little Bounty Hunter, but Fata is invis. Silver Edge. Stuns PPD and the Ice Blast lands down. Not going to catch any heroes as Sumail just tries to slow things down.
Bulba's in the middle of this.
Where is Bulba going? BKB's up but doesn't chrono.
It's gonna go down in a second here.
There we go. Onto Fata. Dragon Knight
not the
thought
target
they're
that you
not
wanna
going to be
go
able
for,
to actually kill him off. The damage isn't there. The Shuriken bounces back and falls dead. Sumail tries to sprint away and ball lightning into Fountain. Your racks are falling. The Clippers here, but Evil Genius's buyback there on the void. What's AUI? He's in the middle of four. He went in alone. There's no one to save him. They're bleeding blue, but they're bleeding for nothing. Evil Geniuses, they're going to lose 2 lanes of racks. The 2 buybacks come out. But Blitz, what have they got left to give?
They don't have the Chronosphere available. The duel's on cooldown too, and Sumail's just gonna have to make this happen wherever how he can.
Tanky pops his BKB and says, yeah, what up, Sumail? Come at me, bro. X back onto him. There's the pet attack with a lot of sword back onto Sumail as well, but Liquid run through every single player of Evil Geniuses and then run the hell back out after they've taken 2 full lanes of barracks.
So many opportunities for EG to win this game as they battled back from that 12k deficit, almost bringing it back to 0 at one point, all the way down to 1k, and XP well on their way to a 10k lead. They had a lot of dual damage built up on AUI, 136 already. Stormster was getting a decent amount of Bloodstone charges, and then all of a sudden that one fight at top starts the momentum. Then that mid engagement where they just lost so many different heroes. The Chronosphere on Fata once again. Fata's just got to be sitting in his booth laughing right now because this is the last target that you want to go for the Chronosphere on. But it's not like you can leave him alone, because as soon as you disengage, that heart regen starts to kick back in. Now EG are in a position, a little bit desperate, 2 racks behind. They have to go for this Vegas if they can help it. Fear gonna run into Matama Man. He's gonna scout ahead.
I've got a gem on the storm, seeing the little wolfies come through, and he's actually going to jump on to Kuroki in the back, but the big wolfies here now. Mana expended by Sumail, glimpse back into the field, but Matsumo Man is actually sprinting through, and he's still holding onto his BKB.
He's got
Comes off
Chrono too.
cooldown right now, Bull, but there we go, captures the wolf. The damage output, where is it? Sumail zip over the front now into Matsumba Man, wailing into this wolf for the BKB. Pops and turns, the crits come through. Matsumba Man, 1v3 almost.
Sumail's running out of mana fast.
He's got nothing left. The stack skull trying to hold their place, but the BKBs are here from Team Liquid, and Sumail is chasing Jirak. Snowball through the sprout, and Sumail, the Shivas Khan is going to get the kill, but he loses his life, and a 5-man wipe. Team Liquid looking hot at Epicenter.
I'm not sure how they're making these fights work. -2 heroes, and
It's
TPD
over.
calls good game before
Over.
last Rex even
Absolutely
falls.
steaming performance from Team Liquid, 2-0ing Evil Geniuses here. What a cracking series.
Looked a little bit sloppy in the mid game, but Liquid eventually making it happen. And this is what happens when you play against this kind of push lineup. All it takes is 1 or 2 mistakes. Now you're down 2 sets of racks. And EG after that last fight decide no buybacks available, nothing left to fight.
Insane stuff. So Liquid 2-0, and they head themselves through. Evil